Hello and welcome. We are live coming to you from Denmark. My name is Jeffrey Smith and I'm here today to interview Michael Stepbystep about his role and I guess to some extent my role in the Turning Point program, which is a 3-week online program that we are offering together along with another facilitator, the beautiful Sinye, who has previously done interviews with Michael and with myself. So welcome, and please put whatever you like into the comment section so that we know who you are and where you're coming from, and please ask questions there as well. So Michael, how are you today, this beautiful cold winter day here in beautiful Denmark?
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I'm here near Helsingør, close to Sweden. And it's been a busy day today. It's a lot of online meetings and so forth. So I'm very happy I have my daily practice. So that's what I would like to talk about today, or actually is how, and also like to offer, that is my daily practice.
Yeah. Daily practice is a very important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you get from your daily practice?
Yeah. It is like a daily centering of my body and my soul, remembering who I am, because I feel that life often takes you away from yourself, and sometimes you take yourself away from yourself. But life in particular, all these things going on, especially these times, I find it extremely important to have a daily practice.
Yeah. And I guess it's the same for me too. I actually have several different daily practices that I use. But what are your main areas of expertise in terms of the practice that you do each day? What sort of things do you do?
Yeah. I've been teaching coaching for 17 years.
Yeah.
And I realized we're all just human beings, sometimes perfect, often imperfect, and trying to find our way through life. And by having these practices, and what I mean by daily practices, that is my morning practice. So I have scheduled a morning practice, and I've been doing that for the last 25 years, in fact, starting with meditation and adding other moving meditation, which is Qigong.
Yeah.
I've used that for a long time now, and it's very useful. Also because normally I work as a consultant and as a teacher, and being in different organizations each week, it calls for me to get home every day, not only physically home but also home in myself, because I meet all these different people and energies and so forth, and it's really useful. So I have my morning practice, then I have what I call my during the day practice, which is like is breathing consciously, and in this way I connect with myself. And then I have my good night practice, which is like a review of the day and an appreciative review of the day. So these are like the three main things I do during the day, and and it's a way of living. It has become a way of living. And I've been some days ago I read this quote that you become your daily practice. I mean, you become your future is. I mean, the secret is that the future, if I remember the quote correctly, that your future is determined very much by how you live your daily life. And day by day, that kind of determines what's going to happen in the future. So to me, it's really important to have this space for myself, because often I'm there for other people, but remembering to be there for ourselves. So I'm curious. What?
I agree. It's very, very important that we create this space for ourselves, because if we don't nourish ourselves, it's not going to be possible for us to nourish other people either.
No,
You
how
know,
can
whether that's physically or spiritually or emotionally, it's just not going to happen.
exactly? If
Yeah.
you're empty yourself, how can you be there for other people?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
filling up your
Yeah.
own cup so you can give
Yeah.
to other people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So, what form does your practice take?
What do you mean by form?
So you say, did you mention that you do Qigong?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you'd like to tell us just a little bit about your Qigong background, where you studied, how you came across, what brought you to Qigong? You know, what was it that sort of first drew you to it, and what's
Yeah.
held you there, you know, with Qigong?
I've been, doing the sitting meditation a long time. I was trained by a Buddhist monk in the sitting meditation, and he introduced us to walking meditation. But I still felt a bodily need for movement.
Yeah.
And then I got curious about Qigong. That's quite a long time ago, and I started investigating in the world who's doing the Qigong and how does, and I did, I was introduced different practices. So what I've been doing now is I combine different Qigong methods,
Yeah.
because Qi to me is a practice. Qigong, Qi is
Yeah.
the life power or prana, and
Yeah.
and and, and Gong is the practice. So it's a different ways of doing it. So I've been meeting a professor of Qigong from China several times.
Yeah.
Been at his workshop, trained by him. I spent time in Jutland actually, learning another approach to Qigong. So I'm combining these different schools,
It's
but they have,
interesting.
yeah, and they have all, because they all have the same in common. That is, when we work with Qigong, we are acknowledging that we're not only physical matter, but we are also energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by moving, it's Qigong is moving your body in an energetic way, so it gives you energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can really feel that, and in the beginning I was listening to Chinese music, and I also like to combine it with other kinds of music. So I've started using other music that is kind of fits with the flow of Qigong, because it's kind of slow movements where you are present with your movement and also in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. So what I do in the morning is I just simply get up. I go to the bathroom. I go and sit on my pillow. Then I meditate for 20 minutes. And then I get up and I find very good music. And then I do my Qigong, sometimes combine it with a little bit of yoga. And and when I was asked by Sina if I would like to participate in this, I thought, yeah, I would like to share. If other
Yeah.
people can find meaning in the daily practice I use, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So it's actually about, to me, the reason for joining this program is just sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. It's very similar for me too. You know,
yeah,
it's to be able to share the thing that has really helped to sort of transform my life as well. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so
So
I'm curious. Yeah,
what are you actually going to be offering in the program itself? What are you putting
yeah.
into the Turning Point program?
Actually, I will invite people into quite a sacred space for me,
Yeah.
because that's my morning practice. So I will actually just invite them into the room I have every morning.
Yeah.
And as I understand, it's also going to be recorded, which means that
Yeah.
other people that are sitting maybe in the United States, somewhere else, they can watch it later.
Yeah.
So I'll be sharing that. So what I've added, because I will be doing the morning meditation, so people who would like to learn how to meditate, they will have an advantage by participating. And then I'll do the Qigong.
Yeah.
And then after that, I I I will share a little bit of what I call wisdom from our ancestors, things that I have learned through the years that will come up at that moment. So I will not kind of say, I will do a talk on this or a talk on this. I'll just share what comes up that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
with the theme that comes up. So there may be 10 minutes, sharing of what comes up. So I think altogether, the program I will offer, and I think I will offer that around 10 times during those 3 weeks. I will offer my morning program. So my morning practice, and of course, my hope is that the participant will be inspired, and maybe also inspired in a way that they would like to start working with meditation. Of course, doing it with me and also the Qigong, and maybe hopefully implement it in their own lives.
Yeah.
And find their own way, maybe from my inspiration. Maybe that's good. Yeah. And I was also thinking that a lot of people, we all have New Year resolutions. What's going to happen in the new year, and often when we look at the year later on, we didn't get it done. Many times, especially when it comes to ourselves, changing habits. And I thought this is a wonderful opportunity for anyone that wants to change something important about themselves, nourishing themselves. Why not offer that? Why not offer a 3-week program so that people who like to really change something important, in the way they nourish themselves, that they can participate here. This is a chance.
It is, yeah. I think it's not only is it a great chance and a great challenge, because I think part of the problem, or part of the struggle that most of us have, is it's not necessarily about making the change once or twice. It's about making that change into a more long-term part of daily life. And I think that's probably one of the great things that this program is going to be offering, is that opportunity by being able to come not just at a time that is right for you, because even though they may not be there for the live session, they'll be able to come along and pick up the recorded session, and also to keep coming back to these even after the 3-week program's finished, because once you sign up for this, it's there permanently for you, and you'll be able to download the videos as well, I guess, and whatever written material is being provided to go with it. So that would also be available too. And I'm sure we'll be putting subtitles and stuff like that onto the different videos that are created too. So I think it's quite a comprehensive program by the sounds of it.
It's wonderful.
It's certainly one of the things that I'd like to sign up for.
What do you have, Jeffrey?
Oh yes, I have.
That's
for sure.
What I was thinking about? I was thinking about, how does transformation happen? Because I think it can happen 2 ways. Either there's a jump, there's a immediate change, and then there's the step-by-step transformation. And at least in my life, the way I have approached things is step by step. I have kind of had a vision of where I would like to go, and then I have changed my life step by step. And I realized that also when it comes to the daily practice, that I have added on, step by step. So now I have a 45-minute morning practice. Used to be 20 minutes. But I also realized that this has, expanded into my life in general, that I have become more peaceful inside myself and more calm. And this has been a transformation in my life, that I'm more and more in who I want to be. And that's a wonderful place to get to.
And I think those aha moments, those sort of really mercurial insight flashes that you can get are wonderful. But you're right. I think it's this sort of small steps that we take that keep allowing us to deepen into that process of transformation. Transformation is not, I believe there is something that could happen in an instant, that it's possible for us to become totally enlightened just like that. Yeah. I don't know what I'd be if that happened to me on the other side, apart from an enlightened mess. But I think the step-by-step approach, this gradual, gentle approach, is the one. It's like the saying about a drop of water can reduce a mountain to a pile of sand. Yeah, I think it's that sort of thing. You just gradually keep doing it, step by step, drop by drop.
Yeah.
And ultimately you end up having made a very large transformation, although it doesn't feel like it, because it's been so gentle.
Yeah.
It's been, such a gradual process. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that's something that, we're inviting people into in this 3-week program that we're offering online.
Yeah.
That it will not be something that is necessarily going to, turn your whole world on its head, but it certainly will bring about some deep transformation for you.
Yeah.
Quite probably over that 3-week period too.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the insights that I'm sure people will get from working with you will be very, very deep for them, very deep in terms of that understanding about who they really are and where they've really come from, which I think is the essence of this work. I think it really is the essence of all the work that we do, basically.
It's a good point. I mean, coming from, what is transformation? How does that happen? And as you say, there's the sudden insight, and what creates the sudden insight? Often it does not come through pleasure. Often the sudden insight comes through some kind of, it's interesting with us people, that we often only change when we have to. You kind of a wake-up call, right? But then after the insight comes the work. And I like the way that you put it. It's the step-by-step approach is a gentle approach. And it still takes, besides it's gentle, it also takes creating a kind of discipline for yourself. But the good thing about that is that you realize, day by day, that you are the master of your life, that not your thoughts or, fluctuating feelings and so on are the masters. It's becoming, it's becoming aware that I can create my life. But it takes a gentle step-by-step approach.
And that sort of gentle, I think, approach is the one that goes much deeper, much more profound. I think the insight flashes that is the thing that is like could it be likened to the carrot on the stick that's held before the donkey? For sure. And I know, I mean, you're absolutely right about this. We need to be pushed to make these small steps. And we suffer, and the reason we suffer is because it's the suffering that edges us towards having the courage and the trust to take these steps. Very much so.
So what you're saying is that the suffering, if I understand you right, is sometimes the teacher.
Yes. Absolutely. Very much so. We all find our own Bodhi trees eventually. I'm sure of that. So the Bodhi tree was the tree that the Buddha sat under, where he really attained full enlightenment. That was where his final test took place there. And I'm sure we all find our own Bodhi trees. That's for sure, in each lifetime that we live.
Our life is our Bodhi tree.
It is. Yes, that's absolutely. Another great way of putting it. It really is.
It's going to be wonderful.
So will you be offering, I mean, apart from the live sessions that you're doing, will you be offering any support material to go with that too?
Well, there's going to be the videos, right? And then I am planning, some of the wisdom teachings I've been thinking about putting that into kind of summary teachings. Yeah. That's what I'm planning. Yeah.
I think you can just probably hear one of my daily practices, my reminder for my daily practice going off there. It's one of my teacher's temple bells.
Oh,
that rings every now and then. It just reminds me to come back to my breathing.
Yeah.
And just sort of allow myself to feel the breath.
Yeah.
So bringing myself into the present moment. And it rings, it just comes up at random times to remind me to do that. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I'll be going into is some practices like this in what I'm offering. Yeah.
And actually I think we share the breath in the way that, I think both of us, we are inspired by Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I was so lucky because I had 2 weeks in Plum Tree Village a few years ago. And what happened right now, that the gong that you had, reminded me of the time there, because several times during the day there would be the gong kind of reminding us to stay mindful.
Yeah.
And
that's the it's the temple gong from the Upper Hamlet.
Oh
Village. Yeah.
This is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, it's a really big one.
And this is actually my daily routine. During the day, I often just check in with myself. A few breaths. Like I don't think you even noticed, but I did that earlier during this interview. Yeah. Just checking in, because that's a way of saying I am here.
Yeah.
Not in my thoughts in the future or in the past or the worries or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's also reminding me I am here. I am.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, the breath for me is, I'm a breathwork facilitator, so it's obviously a really major transformational tool for me. Is the breath. Yeah. So and I think, like with all of the martial arts, whether it's Tai Chi, Qigong, karate, kendo, whatever it is, there will always be an element of that which is related to how the practitioner is breathing. And that there are certain movements that can be made when you breathe this way, but you can't do it when you're not breathing that way. It doesn't have the same power or the same presence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what you were just reminding me about is that the Qigong, the meditation, it's been practiced for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And in my view, living a modern life, there's a need to remember ourselves. Remembering who I am, but also that remembering that there are peoples that have lived long before us who actually knew how to live, how to be a good leader in your own life.
And
that's why I'm inspired by our Scandinavian ancestors and ancestors from worldwide. Because there's so much teaching, and then the only thing that it needs is that we apply it in practice. And that's the
small steps.
What did you say, Jeffrey?
The small steps.
It's the small
take
steps.
the small steps.
And if you don't take the step, then you stay. Of course, if you are inspired, but if you don't take the step, you are inspired. But if you take the step, you are transforming the inspiration into something in real life.
Exactly. And I don't know if people have noticed, but there's a little link here in the ticker that's been going on down there. And maybe we can just sort of very quickly switch so that they can see the where it will take them to if they follow that link. Because that link is going to bring you to this website that you can see here. And this is a place where you can sign up to join our private Facebook group. And you'll be able to get links to all of these amazing free gifts that we're offering, irrespective of whether you decide to sign up and join into the full program itself. But you can see there's more information here about what sort of things are going to be going on during this program. And there's a little bit more information about Sinye here, and myself, and Michael as well. And you can also listen to various testimonial videos from people who have worked with any of us three facilitators, and what they have to say about what it's like working with us in the world.
Yeah.
So that's the website, and you're very much invited to go and visit it. And to just, all you have to do is put your email address in, and you'll get the gifts, and you'll be able to come and join the private Facebook group to find out more about what's going on and how it's going on.
Very good.
So I think we are getting pretty close to the end of where we are here at the moment. Is there anything you'd like to say in conclusion here, Michael?
Yes, I've become curious, so I would like to soon interview you, and I think I'm going to do that in just half an hour or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because
so we are going to come back here at 3 o'clock, and the roles will be reversed. Michael will be interviewing me.
And one thing, Jeffrey, you know, what came up to me was that some people may think, what is this, what is this transformational program? And in my view, it is you, Signe, and I sharing what we know is working.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. We are sharing not just something that we have heard about, but I believe we're sharing what we actually use as our daily practices, what has worked for us and allowed us to bring real deep transformation into our lives. And I don't know a lot about Qigong, that's for sure. But what I do know about is that the path that I've taken with the breath has, and the breath is something which is just so simple. It's so much so we forget about it most of the time. Yeah. And I think that's the gift. We're not just talking about things. We're actually going to be sharing practices which are very practical, which can be done anywhere at any time, and can actually really be brought into a person's life in a very, very real way. And they're things that we are doing. They're not things that we're talking about. They're things that we do ourselves in our lives. Exactly. And so we really are talking about things that have, that bring us, that brings me deep, lasting peace and calm and transformation, for sure. Good.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Michael. See you in half an hour.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.